Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Non-League Nutter Natter. We are now officially into the last full calendar month of the non-league season. Well, certainly at step 5, and then about higher levels. At step 5, Midland Football League is scheduled to finish on the 9th of April. So, what's that? 5 weeks away?
5 weeks away, yes. There we go.
5 weeks away, and we've played 22 of our scheduled 34. So yeah.
Yeah, get that lot in.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, let's see. We'll kick off as usual with match reports, of which there ain't many this week, just the one. Another very wet weekend, which put the end to a lot of plans again. Certainly for me,
Yeah.
there was options for me with 4G pitches, but I had a bit of a cold, and I thought I'm not going to stand out in the rain. So yeah, and I think it was similar for you in terms of whether there weren't one very close, was there?
No. Basically, just about every match that was on grass got called off, including the one I was aiming to go to at St Albans, which was called off quite late on. Yeah. Well, not late for me, being just 10 minutes up the road, but late for the travelling fans from the away team. So, yeah, I ended up not going to a match on Saturday as well. But I believe you have got a report from last Tuesday with a bit of luck.
I have a decent first half report and a not so decent second half report. But yeah, I've got 3/4 or 2/3, whatever you want to say, of a match report.
Go for it.
So yeah, last Tuesday was Walsall Senior Cup game, so the last cup we're left in this season. So yeah, Tividale against Hednesford Town. As we know, Tividale step 5, Midland Football League Premier Division. Hednesford Town step 3, Northern Premier Division, I believe. Whatever league Chase Town are in, I think it's Northern Premier League Premier Division.
Good question.
Yeah, it's definitely step 3 anyway. So, both teams both teams respectively at the bottom of their leagues. Well, not at the bottom, but fighting relegation. Both teams looking in a bit of bother. So, yeah, good test for Tividale, with the team being 2 steps higher. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, talking about the weather, this was in date at about 7 o'clock. It had been dry all day. A little bit of drizzle, which was forecast between 5 and kick-off, which was come along. Yeah, not going to bother. Then about 6:45, 7 o'clock, the heavens opened. And I was like, well, where the hell has this come from? And you could see all the water started to gather on top of the pitch. You were like, oh, no. Not again. Not another one. Luckily, it only lasted about 5 minutes and it stopped. And within 10 minutes, it had all soaked in. So the referee... Yeah, referee came out and had a little look at it and was like, no, we're okay. As long as we don't get another one, we'll be okay. Mm-hmm. If that had happened a few hours earlier, I don't think we would have played.
Yeah.
Which was very questionable at that point. But yeah, I think the fact that everybody was already there and it was like, as long as we don't get any more, we'll play it. So
yeah,
we got away with it in the end.
That's anyway. All
right. So first bit of action came on 7 minutes. Tividale with a cross-come shot in from the right across the face of the goal. Past everybody missed it and behind for a goal to Hednesford. And on 11 minutes, Hednesford with an underhit back pass. Jack Till nicks it in front of the keeper, takes it around the keeper and rolls it into an empty net, and it's Tividale 1, Hednesford Town 0.
Oh, God. Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can't remember the last time we took a lead. Yep. Can't remember the last time we took the lead in the game.
No, nor can I.
No. Probably Boxing Day when we beat Wolf Casnes, the last win. So yeah, probably the first time we've had the lead all season, this calendar year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then 2 minutes later, Tividale go close again. This time, shot deflected wide for a corner, which came to nothing. 15 minutes, Hednesford play a ball over the top. It skips up off the surface and gets past Tividale defender, which just the way the pitch has gone. Forward is coming onto it. The forward, believe it or not, or what I said last week about players having to be signed 7 days before the first round of the competition. That was the Birmingham Senior FA, different county FA, different rules. Hednesford, the Staffordshire FA, like as long as they're signed, I think it was before 48 hours or 24 hours they can play.
Right. Okay.
So Nathan D'Alfonso did start for Hednesford.
Okay.
So the ball skipped off the turf. Evaded the one defender. D'Alfonso's chasing it down. Another one of our defenders comes across and just manages to poke it away from him. And Lewis Connor is out quickly to clear the danger from his box, from out of his box quickly to clear the danger. 20 minutes, some good link-up play for Hednesford. They work the ball to the right-hand side of the box where there's a shot hit from just inside the box, which goes just over the bar. It looked close, but Lewis didn't look worried in goal. He was actually he didn't even attempt to look at his goal or anything. He was already walking off to go and collect the ball, so it probably wasn't as close as it looked. 25 minutes, Tividale have got a free kick on the right, which again goes right across the 6-yard box. Everybody misses and is behind for a goal kick.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we? 27 minutes, Hednesford got the ball down there right. Good cross into the box, and it's a brave bit of keeping from Lewis Connor. As he comes out to nick it off the toe of the Hednesford player who's coming onto it. Had the potential to be nasty, but the Hednesford player saw him and pulled his leg, stopped his volley essentially. Not that you could blame the forward, but if he hadn't saw him and caught him, it was a brave bit of goalkeeping. He's one of those where Lewis knows he had the potential to get hurt, but put himself there.
Right.
So then, in half an hour, Hednesford have a shot from 25 yards, which goes just past the post. Again, there wasn't really a dive from Lewis, whether that's because he was worried it might have been sneaking in and he couldn't have got there anyway, or he knew it, but that was very close.
Yeah.
And then 3 minutes later, so 33 minutes, Tividale failed to close down a Hednesford player who probably came about 10-15 yards, and it's an absolute rocket from 30 yards into the back of the net. No chance for Lewis, 1-1. And then we're like, here we go. And then on 38 minutes, Hednesford with a corner, drops to their player at the back post, but he smashes it over from close range. Probably about 3-4 yards out. In all fairness, he's got 2 Tividale players in front of him, so he's got to try and dink it over him. But instead of dinking it, he's absolutely levered it. And then 45 minutes, Jack Till with a shot from the edge of the area for Tividale goes into the back of the net, 2-1 Tividale.
Crikey. Take the lead twice. Want to be careful.
I know. And then again on 45 minutes, straight from the kickoff, the Hednesford player walks basically all the way through the Tividale team and slides it past Lewis to make it 2-2.
Yeah, definitely a active first half.
Yep, and that's how it finished. The first half finished, so half time Tividale 2, Hednesford 2. As I say, encouraging. We were attacking well, defending relatively well, other than the 2 goals. The 2 goals we conceded, we shouldn't have conceded. The first one, we were backing off. You're like, I seen it coming to the point where I was shouting, you need to close him down. You need to close him down. And then bang, I'm like, yeah, that's what you get for not closing him down. And then the second one, as I say, he's basically just walked through the entire team from the kickoff.
Right.
It's just like, hey, there wasn't really any skill. There wasn't really any skill involved. There wasn't any speed involved. I've seen old people visiting the phones move quicker than he went through that team. It was just, yeah, I don't know if we'd switched off or what, and thought, oh, that's it. We're leading at the break. It's fine. But yeah, so yeah, going to the second half. 53 minutes, 3-2 to Hednesford. Can't tell you what happened. Didn't see it. I was in the back room, stuffing my face with sausage rolls and black pudding. So, yeah. Me Steve came out and said, oh, I'm guessing it's still 2-2. They went, no, it's 3-2. We're like, oh, to us. We're like, no, then. We're like, shit. Oh, well. And then on 60 minutes, Hednesford almost doubled their lead, but it was forced a very good save from Lewis again. 62 minutes, Callum Gillis gets a ball on the left for Tividale. Great whipped ball behind the defence. So it's one of those where it goes behind the defence, but it's not straight and it's coming back towards the forwards. Ryan Sniper runs onto it. First time, half volley, past the advancing Hednesford keeper, in off the post, 3-all.
Oh, crikey. I thought once they'd taken the lead, that was going to be it.
Yep, so did we. And then on 70 minutes, Tividale with a missed tackle on the edge of their own box. Forward advances into the box and smashes the ball into the back of the net, and it's 4-3 to Hednesford.
Uh-huh.
Yay. 85 minutes, with Tividale pushing for the equaliser. Hednesford catches him on the break. Forward ends up being 1-on-1, puts it back, puts the ball past Lewis, and it's 5-3 to Hednesford. And then 87 minutes, it's 6-3 to Hednesford, but I didn't see it because I was tweeting about the goal before.
So held it together for a good period of the match, and then just got beat at the end.
Yeah, and that's how it finished, 6-3 to Hednesford. It's a harsh scoreline. They weren't 3 goals better than us. As I said to you, essentially it was 2 teams that couldn't defend, and they showed it. I say they couldn't defend because in large parts both teams did defend pretty well.
Yeah.
But as I said last week, we're just getting punished for every mistake at the minute.
It's just going against you, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Jack Till's second goal, the keeper could have done better with. Our first goal, we thought it back pass, so again a mistake from them. So there's 2. The third goal of our stopper's goal was a good finish, probably the only one of the 3 that was. So again, they've been punished for a couple of mistakes. So whether that's the story of their season as well.
Maybe.
Like I say, first 2 goals, that's again, we've backed off, we've not closed down. So 2 mistakes. Third goal didn't see it, so I can't comment. Fourth goal was a missed tackle. Fifth goal, we were caught on the break, but at that point, you're a goal down in a cup game with 5 minutes to go. You're going to push for the equaliser. You run that risk. And like I said, goal, I didn't see it because of tweeting about the last one, so I can't comment on that one. But 3 of the 6 were definitely our mistakes. One, you're pushing, so you've got to open yourself up to it, so you've got to take that one on the chin. Like I said, the other 2 I didn't see, so. But yeah, I think a 1-goal win would have been fair either way. 2 goals, you'd say, okay, yeah, we've lost that by 2 because we were pushing for an equaliser.
Yeah.
But the 3-goal difference is very harsh. But like that, it could easily have been 6-3 to us. It was one of those games.
Yeah.
The Hednesford fans were making me laugh. They were singing easy after 87 minutes. I'm like, well, hang on. This took you 87 minutes to get 3 goals clear, and you're 2 steps higher than us. It's not exactly been easy for you, has it? You should be smashing us. Yeah, yes, you
Yeah,
should probably should argue you should be putting 6 passes, but you shouldn't be conceding 3 passes if you have.
no, exactly. And yeah, like you say, it was close for a lot of the match. So yeah,
Yeah, like I say, there wasn't really any time when I thought these are 2 steps higher than us, other than their first goal, which was a fantastic finish. That was, to me, was the only time when you could really say, yeah, these are definitely 2 steps higher than us. Pitch probably didn't help again. If they're used to playing, yeah, they weren't happy with the pitch. They said the pitch was heavy. But I was like, no, unfortunately, that's what it is. This is out for both teams.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, so that
definitely.
now puts us out of all of our cups, which is good, because as I just said, we've got 12 games in 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah, and go concentrate on trying to get some points on the board in those ones to stay up.
Yeah.
Well, as you say, I mean, I didn't get to a match this week at all. It just didn't happen. Just about everything I was going to got called off one after the other. The last of them being St Albans got called off at 1:30, or more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
We might talk about that a bit later.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've just been having a look around at some of the organisations that run football at steps 5 and 6, seeing how long they've been around, what their history is, and such like. Turns out, so we have got. Let me just bring up my little spreadsheety thing so I can see. We've got 16 divisions at step 5.
Yeah.
And we've got 17 divisions at step 6.
Cool.
So that is 33 divisions across the 2 steps.
Yeah.
Operated by some sort of combination of 15 different organisations.
Ooh.
Different leagues, basically.
Yeah.
Some only operate in step 5, some only operate in step 6.
Some of both.
Most of them operate in both.
Yeah.
Actually, it's only one that operates step 5 only, and only one that operates step 6 only. But yeah, we'll come to those as and when we get to them. But I just thought we'd have a little series over the next few weeks, just having a look at some of these leagues and see what they're about and such like. So starting at the top of the list, we have got the Combined Counties League.
Nice.
Now, Combined Counties, they're down this neck of the woods. Well, not just close. They operate predominantly Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, Hampshire, a little bit of Hertfordshire. Jersey are in this lot. There's a bit of Kent and a bit of Middlesex, a bit of Oxfordshire and a bit of Surrey, and a bit of Greater London on the west side. So it's a bit of a mixture of the leagues. It was born out of what was originally the Surrey Senior League, which began in 1922.
Oh, nice.
So, as we would say, Surrey based. In 1978, that changed eventually and became the Combined Counties League. They had various names they went through, but all got rejected for various reasons. So by the time they got around to the 79-80 season, then they were firmly called the Combined Counties League.
Cool.
So they run 2 divisions at step 5, the Combined Counties Premier North and the Combined Counties Premier South. Surprisingly, there you go.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah. And they then run 1 step 6 division, just called Combined Counties Division 1. They have got 4 more divisions below that, basically for reserve teams, under 23s and under 18s. They run divisions for those as well. So the league is responsible for those as well. So, yes, they've been around effectively as they are since 1978. Just have a look at this. Hold on. Are you still hearing me? Have you missed out?
So I got to the 1978 bit, and you said, "Let's have a look at this." Hang on, so I'm assuming you potentially moved screen.
Well, no, because I was doing something on the computer. The phone went onto lockdown. So, yeah, that's what happened there. Yeah, so basically, they ran just 1 step 5 and 1 step 6 right up until COVID. Since then, so for the last 2 seasons, basically, they've, well, this is the 3rd season now, they've had the 2 Premier Divisions and 1 Division 1. Current champions are Ascot United, who also won the FA Vars last year. So they did a double.
Yeah.
So they play at the racecourse, literally on the edge of the racecourse at Ascot. So that's quite an interesting ground to visit.
What can you pay? Can you pay entry? Can you pay entry into the football but watch the racing?
I don't think you're close enough to the racecourse to actually see the actual racing. So, because it's right in the corner of the grounds, but it is Ascot Racecourse grounds, certainly. So, yeah, so there's been some interesting things going on there. I mean, they've had various teams in there. British Aerospace were a team back in the 80s that won it several times, and Ashford Town from Middlesex. We've got Wallingford from Oxfordshire. They've come from all over. Guildford, Egham. They're good old original Surrey teams. So that's the combined counties. Moving on from there, we will have a look at the Eastern Counties League. I can have a guess where that might be based.
I'm guessing it's going to be like north east kind of way.
Nah, just go east rather than north east.
So like Norfolk, Suffolk, that kind of area. Or...
Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex, Cambridgeshire, basically. Little bits of East Hertfordshire, little bits of South Lincolnshire, and a little bit of, believe it or not, the north edge of London. So that's the Eastern Counties. Now, they've been around a long time. Eastern Counties League was founded in 1935.
Nearly as old as you.
Right, don't push it. Now, they currently run 1 Step 5 team, Eastern Counties Premier Division. But they run 2 Step 6 teams, Eastern Counties Division 1 North and Division 1 South. So, obviously, the Premier goes right across the region. The Eastern, in Step 6, the North is pretty much Norfolk, Suffolk. And the South Division is pretty much southern part of Essex and the edge of North London area. And what you'll find is that the North teams generally feed into Eastern Counties Premier, and the Southern Division tends to feed into the Essex Senior League, which we'll move on to next. But as I say, they were formed Eastern Counties League in 1935. So they've been around a long time. Teams like Ipswich were in there, and Norwich City and such like, right in the early days. Before they moved into the other leagues and moved up the levels. So there we go. So that's them. They stopped for the war. They were completely stopped for the war. They've expanded to 2 divisions, added divisions, taken divisions away, all sorts of things over the years. But for a long period in the late 40s, 50s, and early 60s, some top flight teams actually put what they used to call their A team into the Eastern Counties League. So Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, West Ham, they all put an A team. I suppose we'd call it a B team these days, but they all put their A teams into this league. Tottenham won it in 1950, 58, 60, 61, and 62. Makes them more successful.
Tottenham actually won a trophy.
What?
Tottenham actually won something.
Well, Tottenham A, not the first team. Arsenal A won it in 1955. There was lots of reserves teams around: Chelmsford City, Peterborough, Colchester. Lots of reserve teams made up the division at that stage of its thing. Beyond after that, it was much more your localised teams. Lowestoft won it 7 times out of 9 years between 63 and 71. So they had a really good run. more recently, who's been the good teams? Wroxham. This is in the 90s. Wroxham won it 6 years out of 8, followed by Sudbury winning it 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then after that sort of like stage show into the early 2000s, that's when the pyramid started being put together a bit better, and there was proper relegation and up to the Isthmian North or the Southern Counties Central Division 1s after that. So current champions are Ipswich Wanderers.
Okay.
Okay. Team with the longest membership, Great Yarmouth Town. They were founder members, so they've been there right since 1935. Never left the league. So there you go.
Isn't that the one with the wooden stand?
That's the one with the wooden stand built in 1897. It's the oldest still in use wooden stand in the country, and it's beautiful. So it's well worth a visit just for that. Okay. Now, was it this? No, it was the Essex Senior League. I need that bit. That's fine. Okay. Just having a look and just seeing notable facts from this. Most goals in a season. Any idea how many? It's a season of 34 matches. And the Lowestoft Town scored, have a guess.
What year was this?
1967.
186.
157 in 34 matches. Average of 4.62 goals a game, which is pretty damn good going. So that was it. The year before that, 65-66 season, their top scorer was a guy called Mick Tooley, and he got 57 goals in 30 matches. It's just one player. That's pretty mental. So while we're in the East, so that's Eastern Counties League, we will just flick on to the Essex Senior League. Now, they only operate one division. They operate that in Step 5. Which was founded in 1971, this one. So they feed up into the Isthmian League mostly. Occasionally, if they've got a team further up north, then they will feed into the Southern League Central. And they get most of their teams coming up from the Eastern Counties Division 1 South. That's where they tend to come from.
Cool.
Okay. They've got, so like I say, only one division. Now, my first encounter with the Essex Senior League was earlier this season, actually, because one of the first games of the season I went to was Stansted. Who had played in the Eastern Counties League for decades. And this year they got a sideways move into the Spartan South Midlands League. Which they're currently sat bottom of, I think, and not enjoying their time at all. They appealed to stay in the Essex Senior, but they didn't manage it, and so they're not happy about it. That was my first thing about the Essex Senior League. Current champions there are Enfield, who again I've seen them this season because they're up in the Isthmian North now. So I saw them in the Hellenic Cup trophy. Team that's won it the most times, Basildon United, have won it 5 times.
Cool.
So that's an interesting fact. And now, last week we were talking about players who went on and finished their careers in non-league, weren't we? Well, I found out a few here ended up that we didn't mention last week. Ended up in the Essex Senior League. I don't know if you'll know this name. This was back from the 80s. Kerry Dixon played for Chelsea.
No.
Okay. Well, he played for Chelsea in England, and he ended up playing for Basildon.
Cool.
Alan Brazil.
Yeah, I know him. He's on TalkSport nowadays.
Exactly. So after QPR and Manchester United and playing for Scotland no end of times, he ended up playing for Stanbridge. And the last one you ought to know, he's a very famous England player, Jimmy Greaves. Jimmy Greaves. After he'd been to West Ham and Tottenham and AC Milan and Chelsea and all the rest of his England stuff, he ended up playing for Brentwood Town, sorry. So there you go. There's a few more to add to last week's list, and notable Essex Senior League players. So, Dwight Gale, Crystal Palace. So you're aware of him? He's a bit more recent.
Yeah, do I go play for Albion?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, he started at Stansted.
Oh, did
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So there you
Fair
go.
enough.
So that's the Eastern Counties League
Yeah.
and the Essex Senior League. And then we move on to one which I knew about very early on in my football days, because the Hellenic League, which is where we're
Yeah.
going next,
Mhm.
was pretty much centred around Oxfordshire, Berkshire, and sort of like East Gloucestershire and that sort of area.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, it seems to be a bit further west these days. It seems to have shifted west. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much predominantly Gloucestershire, bits of Oxfordshire, South Hereford, South Warwickshire, North Wiltshire, South Worcestershire, over around the
Mhm.
Bristol way. So that's where they hang out these days.
Yeah.
Now, they run quite simply one league at Division Step 5 and one at Step 6.
Mhm.
So they call it Hellenic Premier and Hellenic Division 1.
Yeah.
They then run another 4 divisions below that, all called Division 2. You've got Division 2 East, Division 2 West, Division 2 North, and Division 2 South. And they also run 3 veterans leagues for players over the age of 35 as well. So
Okay.
they're quite busy.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of organisation there.
Yeah.
So, you put Hellenic League into the into Wikipedia, and you get something in Greece when you don't not looking. So they were founded in 1953.
Okay.
That's where they started.
Mhm.
Long time ago there. And yeah, like I say, they were originally sort of like the Oxfordshire Berkshire area, but they've slowly drifted west as combined counties has moved west as well, and Spartan South Midlands has moved south and west, and it's just shoved it all over that way a bit.
Yeah.
So that was them. Their current champions, I will zip down to,
Coventry
are
Sphinx.
Crib. Hey,
Oh,
what?
I was going to say Coventry Sphinx.
No, they're not in the Hellenic. I think they're United Counties League, I think.
That could be that. Yeah.
Right, so Cribs. So Cribs,
Yeah.
Causeway, the big shopping centre down in Bristol. Cribs are from that area.
Yeah.
They're the current champions. They also do a Floodlit Cup. Well, there you go. There's a thing. Mangotsfield United.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I like about this league. Some of the team names are amazing. So you've got Mangotsfield United.
Yeah.
Got another one called Brimscombe and Thrupp. This is the one where Roman Glass and George showed up when I went to
Yeah.
their match the other week.
Yeah.
And they've also got a team called Titherington Rocks. It's just strange, the names that these guys got.
Yeah.
Swindon Supermarine, that's something to do with Supermarine Spitfire, I
I'm
think.
going to say that's the Spitfire, where the Spitfire was built,
Yeah,
isn't it? Or the
yeah,
engine, anyway.
something like
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so there's that's I think the best bit about the Hellenic League. Some of the team names are just downright weird.
Yeah.
So but they've had previous winners and things called Pegasus Sports and Pegasus Juniors and things like that. And
Yeah. Ain't
yeah,
Pegasus
just
Juniors now Hereford Pegasus?
it might be. It might be. Let's just click on them and see what it says. Pegasus Juniors, Hereford Pegasus. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is. Yeah. So that's it. So that's the older Hellenic League.
Mhm.
Like I say, it's the team names that are interesting in there mostly.
Yeah.
Oxford City Nomads. There's another one. Let me call your team the Nomads. So
Well, you got
and the
Nomads as well, haven't you?
yeah. So
Yeah.
the fifth and final league we'll look at for this week is one that you will know a lot about, is the
Well,
Midland League. Well,
I know a bit.
so the
Test my
Midland
knowledge
Football
now,
League.
and they're going to show
This is
myself up.
one of the newer leagues.
Yeah.
So, any idea when the Midland Football League form was founded?
2015,
Ooh,
14,
1 year out in true
14.
Cambridge style. 1 year out, 2014. Yes, it was a merger of the Midland Alliance and the Midland Combination Leagues. So
Yeah.
they merged. There
can
have
tell
been
you-
other leagues in the past called Midland Football League as well, but
I can tell you who the last winner of the Midland Football Alliance was.
Midland Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Who were the last winners of that then?
That would have been Tividale.
Yeah, correct. Right. Anyway, so so the Midland League, as I say, is quite a new one, only formed in 2014 by the merger of those other two, and covers basically West Midlands, Birmingham, bits of Staffordshire, Shropshire, Worcester, Herefordshire. Have you got bits of Warwickshire, Leicestershire, and Derbyshire in there?
We've definitely got Leicestershire and Derbyshire at step 6.
Right, yeah, that's right. Because again, this is a team this is an organisation that runs one step 5, the Premier Division, and a step 6, Division 1. I believe they've also got Divisions 2 and Division 3 below that as well.
Yes, they are mainly reserves and youth.
Yeah,
like younger and like development teams, as I call them. I don't think we've got any in Warwickshire anymore because Racing Club Warwick moved to the Hellenic. And
where would the Coventryans be from? Are they Coventry based?
They are in the other one in the area. Is it the United Counties?
Right, okay. Because Coventryans won Division 3 last year.
Yeah.
And the year before, AFC Coventry Rangers won Division 3. So
yeah, they potentially moved over into the United Counties if they've gone to step 6.
Yeah, quite possibly. Okay. So yes, that's the Midland League. Current champions of the Premier Division are? Who won it last year?
Who won it last year? It wasn't Hanley last year, was it? Who won it last year?
Hanley won it the year before.
Yes, I did. Lye went up second.
No, Dudley went. Walsall Wood won it.
Walsall Wood, and then Lye went up through the playoffs.
Yeah, Walsall Wood won it. Yeah, that's right, because Lye were in the playoff final that I went and watched. Yeah, so
yeah.
Lye were. So.
How could I forget Walsall Wood?
Well, I don't know, but you did. And Dudley Town obviously won Division 1 because they're in with you lot now. So
I can tell you who the first winners were as well.
Go on then.
Hereford.
They were second winners.
Oh, they weren't, were they?
Yeah, they won 2015-16.
Okay, I can't tell you who the first ones were. Maybe who else came up? Wouldn't have been Kelsey. It was too early for Kelsey. Elfchurch? No, Elfchurch would have been the year after Hereford, maybe.
Correct. Elfchurch were the year after.
Westfields?
I'll tell you. Basford.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
No, Basford won the first year, then Hereford, then Elfchurch, then Bromsgrove Sporting.
Bromsgrove, yeah.
Ilkeston, and then 2 seasons cancelled.
Yeah,
and then you got Hanley and Walsall Wood. So.
Well, I think Oakhouser were promoted the COVID seasons, right? 9 points per game.
Yeah, Council went up in COVID seasons, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the Midland League. That's the first 5 of the organisations. I'll do a bit of research on the next 5. For next time, we need to fill a gap. And we'll carry on.
Yeah. And that Hereford season is what wrecked the Midland Football League.
Oh, right.
In terms of players demanding stupid money, because obviously Hereford were paying it.
Yeah, yeah.
So then other teams are like, well, to get decent calibre, we need to start paying it. So I think it was Hereford and Elfchurch, in all honesty, which kicked it off.
Yeah, and now it's now they're both long gone, and it's still
the money stayed behind.
Yeah.
Bromsgrove would have had a part to play in that as well, because obviously they were step 2 when they went bum.
Yeah.
Probably Ilkeston as well, to be fair. And Basford.
So all that lot, yeah, basically.
And Hanley.
And Walsall Wood.
Not so much. Probably more so low than Walsall would, in all honesty. But yeah, no. But Hanley has connections with Stoke.
Right.
He's not there anymore, but I know they won our league. Actually, we were the only team that didn't beat that season. We drew 0-0 both times. The only team that didn't beat, and the only team that didn't score against. But their player manager that season was Carl Dickinson, who played for Stoke.
Oh, right.
And they also had Ryan Shotton playing for them as well. Interestingly, I'm not sure if it's the same one, but I saw the name Carl Dickinson pop up on Congleton's team sheet the weekend, which isn't a million miles away from Hanley, so I wonder if that's where he's now playing.
Let's have a look him up.
Because the manager of Congleton is Richard Duffy.
Yes, it is the same person.
Yeah. Richard Duffy has won the FA Cup with somebody, but I can't remember who. Might have been Stoke as well. He's Welsh, I believe.
He is Welsh. He's pushing it. He's 38 now.
Yeah, well, that's the current Congleton player manager. And I'm sure he's won the FA Cup with someone, but I can't remember who he was.
When did Portsmouth win it?
2008. It was West Brom.
So that
beat West Brom in the semi-final. Yeah. Could have been that. Just whilst we're on the subject of Congleton, they played Lichfield the weekend, so the top two met.
Oh, right, yeah.
Congleton won 2-0.
Right, okay.
And then I upset him on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. What did you say?
Well,
or is it not to be repeated?
No, it's fine. They tweeted on Saturday there was a crowd of 960.
Yeah.
And then somebody on Sunday, somebody from the media said it was in front of a crowd of 1,002. I was like, okay. I said, I literally, all I put was out of interest, where have you got that figure from? Because they tweeted 960. So he screenshotted the full-time website and sent me that. I thought, okay, fair enough, strange one. I said, but I wonder if the 960 is paying and the 1,002 includes hospitality and whatnot, because obviously.
Yeah, that'd be about right, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And Congleton's club replied saying, it's not a strange one. We were told 960 and we're run by volunteers. We're human. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a strange one that the figure's contradicted itself.
Yeah.
So you're the one who took it as if I'm having a go. I'm just saying, where did you get that figure from? Because what obviously is 960.
Yeah. Just clarification, please. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I had. They were straight. I felt a bit weird when we was at Congleton. I wasn't going on down. It was just a whole lot of rules. They went mental because the coach driver drove up to the ground. We're like, well, we've never been here before. It's not our fault your car park's the size of a tennis court. Then the road leading up to the ground is narrow, so he ended up driving over one of the cones, and the chap had a hissy fit. I'm like, fuck me, mate, you get a crowd of 700, you can afford to buy a new cone. They gave you lanyards for the hospitality.
Yeah.
Must be worn at all times. I'm like, why? I'm not using the hospitality. But we need to know who the hospitality is. I'm like, I'm not going to use it, so here's it back. No, you've got to wear it. Okay. So I just put it on the table and walked out. I was like, I'm not using the hospitality. I'm not wearing it because I will forget to give you back. There it is.
Yeah.
And then another guy I went, you're not used to the hospitality. So I went back in to get it in and said, where you got that from? Well, I'll just get it in. Well, you can't do that. He's not on the list because it doesn't matter. You've put the hospitality on. I'm not using it. He can have it. You're not catering for anyone extra.
A bunch of jobs worse then. Right.
Yeah. But he gets you in the ground for free. I'm like, I'm already in. He's already paid. Again, we're not doing you out of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Footballing side of things, brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, just logistic side of things are a bit. Yeah.
Anyway, right. So, have we got any big scores? Have you looked at big scores?
Yes.
Hey, good. I like big scores.
There are 2, 4, just the 8 this week.
Good. Okay.
So we've got Eastleigh 3, Solihull 3. Slough
That's good. I
4.
enjoyed that one. That was a late equaliser.
Yeah, we know. Slough 4, Bath 2. We'll come back to that one in a bit.
Yeah.
Billericay 2, #United 4. Royston 2, St Ives 4. Newton Aycliffe 3, Cleethorpes 3. Cambridge City 4, Sutton Coldfield 2. Cray Valley Paper Mills 4, Three Bridges 5. And Berrytown 4, Ipswich Wanderers 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's your big scores. Not many.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on to some news then, shall we?
Yep. And that brings us back to Slough versus Bath.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say 4-2. Was abandoned in around about 70 minutes due to a medical emergency in the crowd.
Right.
Well, initially the game was suspended and then it was abandoned.
Yeah. Right.
This has prompted statements from both teams.
Uh-huh.
So this is where you know it's going to get fun. So obviously, I'd say it was Slough 4, Bath 2 at the time.
Yeah.
So Slough came back out all the months about it's been blurred. It's the game was abandoned at this point and whatnot. Just before going any further, both clubs did sign a statement. The supporter was obviously well and talking by the time he left the ground and whatnot, and good to see that he's recovering well.
Okay, good. At least I acknowledge that. That's good.
Yep. So Slough's statement was the referee was willing to restart the game, as were Slough. However, the Bath management refused to continue, so the game was abandoned.
Uh-huh.
So that prompted a response from Bath, which was the player was suspended for over 25 minutes. The match official stated he would suspend the game. Well, he would suspend the game if either side had concerns over the length of the stoppage. The Bath manager, Jerry Girl, expressed concern over the length of the stoppage with player welfare at the fore of that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But Bath would also like to remind people that the match official made the final call.
Yeah.
So I can see both sides of the coin with this because we were in a similar situation with Tividale at Church last season where basically the referee said one thing and to one team, one thing to another, and then made the decision. But then hopefully this referee, if what he said to Bath is right, sticks to what he's actually said. Because the referee in the game that we had changed what he said in his report to the FA, which reflected badly on Tividale. But we won't get into that. But from a Slough point of view, they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, it's because you were losing 4-2." Yeah, which I can see.
Yeah.
But if there is genuine concerns, if players are already carrying knocks,
yeah.
If there's genuine concern after 25 minutes, that's essentially your body's. You need to do a whole warm up again.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to restart completely, haven't you? So
yeah, your elasticity of your muscles is greatly reduced, even if you do warm up again. But you're more likely to pull muscles. More likely to tear them more because it's been warmed up and cooled down and warmed up again. So I think you potentially could have got away with playing, but maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
I
it
think
needs to be taken away from the managers and the management of the teams and a set thing. If the match is suspended for more than 20 minutes, the game will be abandoned. If it's restarted within 20 minutes, we will play on. End of story. And then it's taken away from the management thinking, oh, we're losing, we can play this again. Or, oh, we're winning, we want to play this. If you have a set time limit on it, say, right, we're suspending the match. If it goes past 20 minutes, it's abandoned. Then you take that away from it, and you take this narkiness with each other away from it, because it's taken completely away from the managers.
Yeah, definitely. Because, as I say, for me, as a former player, getting to that point, 25 minutes, half an hour, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start, especially as you get older as well, with older players. If you get any players late 20s, early to mid 30s, or even late 30s, asking them to sit around for 25 minutes and then get up and play, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not like your youngsters who can play a game one Saturday morning, then Saturday afternoon, then Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and then play five-a-side every night of the week as well. You get to an age your body just can't do it anymore.
No, exactly.
So, yeah, for me, it's right on that mark where it puts that question into the mind of the player as well. How's my body going to react to this?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I say, if you had a rule in place that says suspension of a match is for a maximum of 20 minutes, after which the game will be abandoned, then, like I say, you're not going to ask for subjective views on whether to continue. You've got an absolute hard and fast. And you know what I'm like. I like an absolute black and white rule. So
yeah, yeah, no, definitely. So, yeah, I think it seems to be becoming more of a common occurrence nowadays for whatever reason. Medical emergencies at football games. So, I think it is about time that, as you say, something's put in place. I don't agree with. I think it was a Leighton Orient game where the referee was trying to make the teams play on while they were giving CPR to somebody on the side of the pitch. I'm like, yeah, be a bit more sensitive.
No, that's not on. You've got to suspend it for that, certainly. But I also think that sometimes that if it's way up in the stands, say for example you're at Spurs and you've got a 60,000 seater stadium and somebody's having an incident in that crowd, only the people immediately around it are going to know what's going on.
Yes, I think
it's a difficult one. I mean, you've got you will have medical staff in place for the crowd as well. You're not taken away from the pitch. So from the players.
I think that's what the issue is. I think the medical staff for that scenario is the same staff that it is for the players, because if you notice, it's usually paramedics sitting between the benches.
Yeah,
and I believe those are the ones with the defibrillators and everything. So my understanding is the game has to be suspended whilst they get to where they need to be.
Right. Okay.
Depending on the severity of the situation, then both medical teams may be required.
Yeah.
But there can be scenarios where they're not required or only one set is required, in which case, as long as the opposition's medical staff agree to cover any injuries for the opposition whilst they're not available, the game can be restarted.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a case-by-case scenario, but as far as suspension's concerned, if they put a deadline on it of, say, like I say, 20 minutes, after which we abandon, then you haven't got to ask that question about, well, shall we carry on or shan't we? So
yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, we had this the other week as well. I just wish teams had stopped taking to Twitter to play the blame game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is it with social media, though, isn't it? I mean, everybody gets on it and gets on the bandwagon and gets out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, you can take the fans doing it, but when the clubs start doing it to each other, it's like, and it is what we always say at Tividale: players and management can say whatever they want to whoever they want. They come and go, but club officials, volunteers, they tend to be around for years.
Yeah.
So we try not to do anything to upset other clubs. Like I say, the whole thing we won't go into like I'm not going to get into it because it winds me up. But the whole thing with us in Whitchurch last year, we made it very clear. Yes, we're saying this, but it's not a reflection of the club.
Yeah,
it's a reflection of an individual. On that point, at that time, the club as a whole were fantastic. Hence why whatever happened. We stayed behind and put 600 quid behind their bar.
Yeah.
This is to say we've got no problems with the club.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Anyway, right. What else you got next?
So quarterfinals of the trophy and the Vars this weekend.
Yes, yeah, that's coming up this weekend, isn't it?
Yep. So yeah, standout tie of the trophy for me is Bromley versus Barnet, which I believe is second and third in the National League.
Yeah,
So,
it is much, isn't it?
yeah, so it should be a good one. And then we are guaranteed one step four side in the semi-finals. Macclesfield and Colville play each other. So both of those are step four, I believe.
Yeah, I believe they are.
Colville might be step three.
Colville are step three. They are, because they were going to be playing
anyway.
tonight. Thingy,
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, we're guaranteed one team outside of the National League setup, we should say, then, to be in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the other two ties, Wealdstone and Solihull, and Gateshead versus Peterborough Sports. All of those are National League, I believe, apart from Peterborough Sports, who are National League North.
Peterborough Sports National League North, yes.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
And then the Vars, everybody left is step five.
Yeah.
The only former winners are left in it, but I believe are Deal Town.
Yes, I believe that's the case. Yeah, I don't recognise any of the others having ever won it. So.
Yeah, we've got an all ULEZ tie.
Yes, North Greenford against Romford.
Yep. And the other two game, Deal Town, the former winners are playing Lincoln United away.
Yeah.
Falmouth are playing Great Wakering Rovers away.
I'll tell you what, that's a trek.
Yeah, I bet they're Hellenic, aren't they? Great Wakering.
Great Wakering, they're Essex.
Oh, are they? Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a massive west to east for Falmouth, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, for me, what is a standout tie is Worcester City versus Emily. Purely because I know Worcester City and what they're doing this season. And I believe Emily are doing pretty well in their league as well. So
they're up there, and they're based up Huddersfield way, just outside Huddersfield. So
that's not too bad a trek for them, really.
No,
so what's that?
I mean, the big journey is Falmouth to Wakering.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I would imagine Greenford and Romford's probably the closest.
According to this in the paper, Falmouth Town supporters considered chartering a plane to Southend for their quarter-final clash against Great Wakering. But they said they set it on a near 24-hour coach round trip.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So yeah, that's those two. So hopefully weather doesn't get involved and all of those ties that get played this weekend, and this time next week we'll know who the semi-finalists are. And I believe, I don't know about the trophy, but I believe the FA Vars has brought back a two-legged semi-final this year as well.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to have a look. So we'll know that next week anyway. So
yeah, definitely. So the Phoenix Trophy.
Yeah.
That'll be called. Yeah, trophy or cup. It's trophy.
Trophy, yeah.
They, the back end of last week, announced when and where their finals weekend is to be held this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the 10th to the 12th of May. I say unfortunately because we're already committed to non-league weekend.
Yeah, non-league finals day at Wembley. So, yeah.
The final. So I did suggest we could fly out for the semi-final of the Phoenix on Friday, fly back, go to Wembley to watch the non-league finals, and then fly back to watch. But Andrew said no.
Well, I would love to say yes, but I haven't got bottomless pit of money, so
yeah, same.
by I win the lottery between now and then, we'll do it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but I forget the name of the town. I think it's Desolano Delgado.
it's
Is the
just like
location of
Garda
it.
area, isn't it? So,
Yeah, it's
very
just
nice.
past. It's southwest corner of the lake. Nice little place. I know the south of Lake Garda quite well. Spent a lot of time there when I was younger. Funny enough, though, southeast corner is what I used to do, so I don't know that side of the lake so well. But yeah, there's a little point at the bottom, Sermione. I used to spend a lot of time to the right of it in Pescara Delgado, and there's Solano just the other side of the point. So I've almost been there in the past. But yeah, I think it looks. If you are interested, get onto the Phoenix Trophies, Phoenix Cup, Phoenix Trophy. Get onto their website. They've got some packages going for accommodation and flights.
Yeah.
I would probably suggest the flights might be cheaper looking elsewhere. They're not super expensive, but just from looking at, you can get flights cheaper separately.
Yeah.
But their accommodation packages look very, very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I think they start from as little as €250, so that's not bad. Yeah, and that includes a free drink to some kind of party, or free drinks to some kind of party, a free scarf, entry to something else, and I think it includes your match tickets as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that'd be good. It would be nice to be able to go, but no, we're already committed to non-league finals day at Wembley. So,
like I say, probably in the next few years, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully the competition's still going. And I'll probably go by coach. It's cheaper. It takes 2 days, but it's cheaper.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's that. Interestingly, I think there's only one team confirmed so far, and that's Lewis.
Yeah, because there's still plenty of matches to play in the other 3 groups, but Lewis have done enough to have already qualified from their group. So
yeah, but it looks like, in all honesty, there's a chance that 3 of the 4 teams there will be English. I'd be surprised if FC United don't get there. And it looks likely that Enfield will do it, but it's difficult to judge because the Lantwick Major, because they are technically step 2, but is step 2 of Wales as good as step 3 of England, or step 4, whatever it is?
Good question. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and if it's another wet one in Lantwick Major, because I believe that's this week.
I don't know.
I think
matches on, isn't it? Hold on, let me just see if I've got the fixtures in the programme.
It's this week or next week, that is. Here it is.
Group March the 5th.
Which is tomorrow.
BK Skold versus Enfield Town.
Okay, I knew there was one.
That's tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, Venus Bucuresti against Prague Raptors in Group B. And then, interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, the point I was making is if it's wet, it'd be interesting to see how Enfield hold up on Lantwich's pitch.
That match is April the 9th.
I knew it was the 9th. I thought it was March.
Yeah.
But yeah, and another one I'm keeping my eye out for, it's not been announced yet. FC United are going to play Vinsky in Magnanville, just outside of Paris. But that actually hasn't been scheduled in yet.
No, it hasn't, no.
But I've looked at that and it's feasible to do that in a day.
Yeah,
or
certainly
or
is.
just over a day. And that's including the coach.
Yeah.
£37 return on Flixbus.
Cool.
So yeah. But we'll see. We'll see when it is first.
Yeah.
But that's the end of European talk for now. Talking of seasons and games and whatnot, I've got to get in. The FA wrote to all Step 5 and Step 6 clubs last week, saying that there will be no extension to the end of the season. However, games that do not affect promotion or relegation may be rescheduled for no later than the 4th of May.
Right. Okay.
So,
How does that one work then?
so if you're stuck in mid-table obscurity with nothing to play for, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Relax, it's fine. You've got an extra few weeks. Now, if you're a team that's pushing for promotion or is trying to stay in the league, so every game means something. So you need your strongest team as much as possible. Cram them all in, risk injury. Cram them all in, risk injuries, risk losing half your squad to injury. We don't care about your players' welfare, essentially, is what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, they haven't given an official reason other than this is what we're saying, get on with it. Yeah. People commenting on it on Twitter are saying, well, it's because the week after is the Premier League's final weekend or the EFL's final weekend and they can't be playing non-league after professional football. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not being funny. Pitches at non-league step 5 and 6 especially aren't as good. That's why.
Yeah.
Got into an argument with somebody on Twitter about this. He was like, well, you need to start punishing teams who are consistently every season having games called off because obviously the pitch isn't good enough. I'm like, well,
yeah, because I can't afford it.
I was like, do you want to say that again? He's like, well, obviously the grading needs to include the pitch. I'm like, to an extent it does.
Yeah.
I was like, but problem is, people can't afford it, or they should get 3G or 4G. Again, people can't afford it.
Yeah.
And he was like,
it's all very well saying they should get 3G and 4G, but then if they go up into the Football League, they have to rip the damn thing up anyway. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. But then he obviously put 2 and 2 together and worked out with Tividale and said, well, stop paying your players so much then. I'm like, it's nothing to do with the club, what the players get played. 2 separate budgets. Manager has to sort it himself for the playing budget. We'll get him to put some money into the pitch. Well, no, because that's not the agreement. The agreement is he looks after the playing side, we look after the footballing side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't make enough money we barely make enough money to cover the running costs, let alone investing into the pitch. We'd love to invest into the pitch, we just simply can't.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as getting inverted right nowadays, you're looking at between £300 and £500.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot.
Money.
Yeah. And like in the grand scheme of things, in talking of football money, it doesn't sound a lot. And like I say, it's pence to a Premier League footballer, but to a non-league club, £500 is 2 to 3 weeks cake money sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the groundsmen's wages. So, yeah, I think some people need to just remember that, especially below step 3, some clubs literally run on fumes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's not the odd club that runs on fumes. Most clubs run on fumes.
Clubs run hand to mouth, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And when you get a winter like we've had,
yeah, it's been incredibly wet this year. So
yeah. Our hope is now, from I think we've got 12 games. Did I say we've got left?
Yes.
Yeah. 8 of those are at home. So our hope is now we can get some decent crowds.
Yeah.
Build up a little bit of money that we can invest into the pitch in the off season.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've then got your Congleton, who we expect to bring a big crowd.
Yeah.
With them doing what they are in the league and getting the crowds they get anyway. That's been moved to a Tuesday night, so they probably won't bring a big crowd.
Yeah.
Whitchurch, who play in front of 200 to 300 every week, usually travel well. That's been moved to a Tuesday night, so that probably won't bring as much as they would have.
Yeah.
And North West Victoria, who play in front of 200 to 300 every week and use your travel ball has also been moved to a Tuesday night, so they probably won't bring as many as they would have.
Yeah.
So
I'll just go with it.
yeah. So yeah. Anyway, before I get too wound up about that again, we then have Chesterfield,
Yep.
top of National League, building up a bit of a gap. Surprisingly, lost 4-1 to Dorking at the weekend. But away from that, we have lifetime fans and brothers. Phil and Ashley Kirk are looking to increase their stake in the club from 40 to 75%.
Right.
By doing this, in anticipation of returning to the Football League, this will allow them to inject £2 million into the club. So this is to be voted on at the AGM this week. And if it's approved, it will be subject to debtor and regulatory approval.
All right.
Because obviously it'll be a change in the structure of the club.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Rochdale, who we were on about last week, their current chairman telling investors you need to take a hit or face liquidation.
Yeah.
Well, World Soccer Holdings LLC, which is an American-based consortium, have submitted a letter of intent to buy the club.
All right.
And that is to be voted on by members on Thursday. So things look like they're going in the right direction for Rochdale as well.
Interesting. Do they hold anything else in the UK?
I don't know, in all honesty.
No.
I feel like I've heard of them.
Yes.
I would be surprised, given it's from Rochdale, if they do, because they're down so close to the Football League. It's not like it's somebody in step 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So obviously, if they get promoted, they would have to probably give up one or the other if they've got somebody in the Football League as well.
Yeah.
Interesting, it's American again now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Americans coming in at the moment.
I don't think it's a bad thing. As you know, I'm quite a big NFL fan.
Yeah.
Love the NFL model in terms of the way it's run, like the clubs are run. It's you're starting to see it coming to Birmingham now as well, with their owners. Obviously, Tom Brady involved there. Villa still American? Not sure if they are anymore.
I think so. Yeah.
Because it was Randy Lerner for years, weren't it? I'm not sure it is now. I'm not sure if that's American, but I know Liverpool are American as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is with the American owners in the NFL model, it's not just about the game, it's about making the whole day an experience.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an interest to your regular Joe Bloggs fan who's been going for his entire life since his granddad took him when he was 4.
But it's likely to bring new fans in, isn't it? Yeah.
What the NFL is very, very good at, and you've seen it in the UK over the last 10 years, is getting interest from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Talking to someone at work the other day, he lived in America when he was younger, and said he was so pleased when the NFL has took off the way it has over here, because it's the one thing he misses about America. Well, not the only thing, but one of. But he would also like to see the desegregation of fans coming back in higher up the pyramid. Now, obviously, that runs risks.
Yes.
You think of, for me around here, you think of Albion, Wolves, Villa Blues. You've got Arsenal, Tottenham, City, United, Liverpool, Everton.
Yeah.
But then you look at the NFL.
Yeah.
They don't segregate at all, and there's some big rivalries in there.
Yeah.
And there's never any trouble. And they're drinking the stands. So that says more about the people watching football over here than it does
Yes.
the idea.
Yeah.
And again, that's not everybody. It's
Well, it has
small.
always, historically, it's always been a minority that caused trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works well at lower levels, as we see.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you the last time I saw any crowd trouble at step 5.
No.
Don't really hear of it at step 4.
No.
Step 3, I know they have to segregate Stourbridge and Halesowen, and then other games they do it as well, just in case of around here. But
Yeah.
I don't think they have to do it. Stourbridge and Halesowen, those fans are again a minority. They are ridiculous. It's usually the kids, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But yeah, bit segued off a point, but yeah, I think American investment right now is
investment is good.
Yeah.
So.
And you know it's not going to be dodgy like the Chinese investment.
Yeah.
Which Birmingham and West Brom both fell foul of. But America is, I can tell you from experience, probably the only country in the world that has tighter money laundering restrictions than the UK.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of these being able to embezzle and commit fraud is slim to none.
Yeah.
And they're probably actually doing it for tax breaks.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
So have you
Which is
got
legal.
any matches lined up this week? Or have we not finished the news? We've got more news.
There's three very, very quick things. So Scunthorpe played Chester at the weekend.
Yeah.
They set the league record attendance. Now, I'm not sure if it's a Step 2 record or a National League North record, but it was 7,511.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's
new league record.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Like I say, I'm not sure if that's combined. It's just National League North. Yeah. And the game finished 2-2, so a good game for those as well. Something I said I wasn't going to do too much of because of Tividale being involved and not wanting to promote other things, but this won't affect Tividale. I can't hear. Harwich and Parkstone host Hall Beach United on the 23rd of March, which is non-league day.
Yeah.
They are making it a memorabilia day. So the club have asked for fans with any items of interest to come along and join in the celebrations. Which I thought, okay, fair enough. And then the final thing, Halesowen, last week I went to, and I was like, the fans weren't too happy.
Yeah.
Well, their manager stood down last week. And Russell Penn, who was at Kidderminster until recently, has taken over. And his first game in charge, they lost 2-0 to Barwell. So good start for him. But it is what it is. It's his first game, less than a week in charge, probably only done one training session. Yeah. So yeah, that is the news. That is the news.
Excellent. That is the news. Well, plans for the week ahead. I might get to a game tomorrow. Depends what time I get back from work. But there are plenty on around this area tomorrow, so I may even get to a game, which will be good.
Again, for me, depends what time. Sorry.
Yeah, and then go on. So that's tomorrow, but
yeah. Again, I intend to go to a game tomorrow. Traveling first class.
Yeah.
hopefully to Uttoxeter. Well, I can go first class as far as Stoke, then it's back with the peasants for the rest of the way. But yeah, hopefully. Hopefully the rain stops soonish and the pitch is okay, and hopefully I can get away on time.
Yeah.
So that's me for tomorrow, hopefully.
And then Saturday, I will definitely get to a game again. If I can work out how to get to North Greenford United on public transport, I might go to that.
Check.
So I don't have to drive into the ULEZ. So
Yeah. Check websites and Twitters and everything, because I know a lot of them are doing ticketing and Worcester is already sold out. So just be careful in case you do travel and you can't get in.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I'll check them.
So it's the big one on Saturday. Tividale, bottom of the table clash.
Oh dear, right.
We're
So an important one to win then.
Yeah, we're away to Bewdley.
Right.
So as I say, we're bottom but one on 14 points.
Yeah.
They are bottom on 4 points. 3 of those 4 points they got against us at the start of the season.
Right. Okay.
So historically not a great ground for Tividale as well. I think they've beat us all but one time we've played at Bewdley.
Yeah.
Again, hopefully the rain stays away because their ground is right on the river.
Yeah.
Or if it's flooded, I suggest, considering we're both having short seasons and at the bottom, that we have a game of water polo instead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
That's the plan.
Good. That's excellent. Right. So we should certainly have some matches to talk about next week then.
Yeah. Hopefully.
All right. Well, good night, and I shall speak to you next time.
Yes. Speak to you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.